Hello boys and girls, it's been a minute since we did a Thailand retro mods video, so let's give you a bit of an update on everything that's been happening. If you can't tell from the cuts on my face, I've been hard on the tools.
Idiot!
We have a brand new project car, which why am I buying the most boring German taxi ever to exist? Well, it's got something special under the bonnet, and we've got the Ta22 Celica. So let's have a look over here, if I can walk backwards. She's got some custom carbon fiber parts which are beautiful, and any Australians might also spot the white line bags, which means custom suspension parts from Australia as well, which is magnificent. We've got the purple people eater, the beautiful Mk1 Ford Escort, massive updates for that one, and finally my race car, my A31 Cefiro. Now that's had a full fuel system, new turbo, injectors, ECU. It's had a whole heap of stuff done to it. So let's get stuck in, guys. So it's Songkran here in Thailand, which means that massive nuclear reactor up in space has been blaring down. So the first update's actually going to be a weather update.
I'll give you a forecast for the next 1,000 years, all right? It's going to be hot, all right? And if it's not hot, it'll be hot and wet, all right?
So this is the E30. Let's have a quick look around the outside. Now I've done quite a bit of work already on the paint, and there's still a long way to go. I did 3 no-touch washes on the thing. The previous owner, it has been painted, but it's obviously sat outside getting bird schmutz everywhere, covered in crap. Before I even put a sponge on it, because she was so knackered. Now I can see the black, so someone's had a crack at modifying this. They've painted the wheels black, they've painted what is a silver trim on the front of this black as well. So one of my first jobs is to try and make it look original again. So we've got some brand new badges and wheel caps. What we're going to do with this car on the outside is actually paint the wheels in the original silver, get the bumpers done in the silver as well. And apart from that, she is pretty stock on the outside, which I kind of like given the theme that I'm going for with this car. Which now, let's pop the bonnet and tell you why I've bought this 4-door German taxi. So let's get her open. And we have said auf Wiedersehen to the German snot box. And said konnichiwa to my favorite old friend, the Nissan SR20 Turbo. So this thing's pretty stock ECU, stock everything, but it also has some nice KW coilovers on it. So this should really bring this thing alive. Now, the style of build I'm going for with this one is your classic retro mod. So just stock body on the outside, very stock looking, with some fun suspension and fun engine components. So the paint, the next things to happen to this car is I'm going to clay bar all the paint to try and bring it back, and then cut and polish it. I'm going to put a new coat of clear on the bonnet, because you're not going to see this in this weather, but the clear is actually rotted off. I was surprised I was actually able to salvage the paintwork on this thing. I thought it was going to be gone for all good. Now the interior is also really complete, so I'll give you some footage of that too. So as you can see inside, it's actually not a bad place to be parked. Everything is there and original, plus a whole heap of gauges, which is pretty customary for Thailand. Oh, what? Look out. Also been blessed by the monks, which is good news. Seats are in relatively good nick as well, so nice. Now moving on to the Thailand Trans Am, my Ta22 Celica. Now just as a reminder, this is one of my forever cars, so I'm going to be building this to keep forever. And so one of the first things I did was get the bumpers, so it's the front lip spoiler and rear spoiler, done in carbon fiber. So it's Mexican carbon fiber, which is just fiberglass with a skin of carbon fiber over the top. So keep in mind, it's only genuine carbon fiber if it comes from the Carbon region of France. Otherwise, it's just sparkling fiberglass. And the next thing we've got is, thanks Mum, give me some bags of goodies from Australia. So we have white line sway bars and white line panhard rods to go along with the custom coilovers we've got in this car. So this thing is going to handle beautifully. Now, what are we doing about the bodywork on this poor thing? Well, if this gives you a bit of a hint, she's coming off. So a lot of this just surfacey stuff, but it does need a full going over. Now, I'm going to do this in 2 stages. The first stage is literally just to get DLT, so to get the tax updated and everything. I'm going to just pull the bodywork off, get all the rust parts done in rust primer, so that way it doesn't get any worse than it is. And then I'm going to paint it in the Mazda red, which I absolutely love. That's going to be a quick dirty job just to get it registered and all that. And the long-term plan is to actually pull every part off this car and do it all in vapor blasted, powder coated, and have it done as a really special classic. Now, the purple people eater, one of my favorite garden ornaments. Look at the custom bodywork. Oh, got the arches going on, got the rear boot spoiler. Now this car is got some big plans, so I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to be doing to this car right now. And done. As you can see, what I've actually done is zip tied the foggies back on. What a beautiful automobile this is. Now let's move on to this critter here, because there's some major stuff going on with this one. So first thing you may notice is I've done a bit of arts and crafts here. I have painted the engine cover. That was pretty cool, but hiding underneath this is some 1NZ coils. We've got drive-by-wire throttle body on it. We have also deleted the J-pipe, which is a good mod. We're going to do the whole engine bay in matte black, but if you look over here, there's something happening with this fuel pressure regulator. Oi, something electronic popping out of that, and those carburetor boys might not recognize it. So let's find out what's going on inside, eh?
Rockwell Automation's retro encabulator. Now basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magneto-reluctance and capacitive diractance.
So we have actually installed the good old Fueltech FT550. Let's give her a crank over. Oh yeah! So we've got fuel pressure, oil pressure, throttle position, battery voltage, boost. We've got a whole heap of stuff. So this is going to be the basis for managing this engine on the racetrack. Love and life. Even the Deadly Treadly gets an update. Got a new bell, we've got some new Shimano hydraulic discs and levers and a derailleur. Should be good for another 15,000 Ks hopefully.